plays into what we were talking earlier with gene splicing, or
yes,
because they are trying to perfect maybe our genes, our genetic makeup, everything like that.
Right. It's eugenics. It's just, if you look at it a certain way, it's just plain and simple eugenics.
Killing the old human to make a more perfect human.
Right. Right. And look what they're doing. They're perfectly willing to sacrifice old people in the nursing home or babies in the womb. Or
What's up, guys? Michael James with Beyond the Forbidden. Do you want to receive extra content that's not viewed anywhere else? Support Beyond the Forbidden on Patreon to receive plus content that is only exclusive to members of Beyond the Forbidden. Content like the full 2-hour podcast, bonus shows, full-length video interviews, behind-the-scenes footage with guests, and much more. So what do you have to lose? Go to patreon.com/Beyond the Forbidden. That's patreon.com/Beyond the Forbidden and become a member of Beyond the Forbidden for just $5 a month. And also check the description for the links.
I think what you're trying to ask is, how old is transhumanism?
Yes, in a way, yeah.
All right, transhumanism is very old. It's been the agenda, so to speak, ever since the fall. It's been the agenda ever since what I've been calling the Cosmic War, is to get back to where we were. And the way we're going to get back there is through science and this reduction of human reason to ratiocination. That's what they think. So in that sense, the agenda is very, very old, and it's the unifying factor, if you will. It's the unifying ideology behind those ancient elites and the modern manifestation of them, because it's the same, pardon my French, it's the same damned agenda. That's the unifying factor here. These people have always been with humanity. They have always been there. Stop and think, during the Renaissance, who were those people? Well, they were people like Cosimo de' Medici. What was he doing? Well, he paid money. He sent spies to Byzantium to get a hold of the Hermetica. Mm-hmm. And he was successful in doing that. And once he got a hold of it, then what did he do? Well, he translated it. And then what did he do? Well, he acted upon it. So these people have always been with us. They've always been there. The real problem is being able to recognize them, because they've always had the same telltale signs. The perfectibility of man through a reduction of his reason to mere ratiocination, and through the operations of science on human nature itself. That is classical alchemy. And that's classical transhumanism. There's really no difference philosophically when you look at them. The jargon is different. The technology is different. But it's the same philosophy.
And this all plays into what we were talking earlier with gene splicing, or
yes,
because they are trying to perfect maybe our genes, our genetic makeup, everything like that.
Right. It's eugenics. It's just, if you look at it a certain way, it's just plain and simple eugenics.
Killing the old human to make a more perfect human.
Right. Right. And look what they're doing. They're perfectly willing to sacrifice old people in the nursing home or babies in the womb or shortly thereafter in order to have organs to harvest and get their stem cells and all of that stuff. It's the same old stuff.
And something we may tie in later with possibly the sex trafficking.
And the sex trafficking and the human slavery. Yes, absolutely. All of it. Absolutely.
It's crazy, Joseph, how all this plays into one big giant picture.
Oh yeah.
It's mind-blowing. But who do you think? I'd be asking you to speculate some, but I'm sure you have a few on top of your head. Top of your hat.
My hat.
Who are these who are some of these major players behind this transhumanist agenda?
Well, people like Ray Kurzweil, obviously. I mean, this is a guy that thinks this is the whole future. He wrote a book about it, the singularity. when we achieve divine status through our human scientific efforts. That's really what he's talking about. Joel Giraud, Epstein certainly was interested in transhumanism. And if you look at, and this is a key crucial figure, I've mentioned him before in our discussions, Antonio Gramsci, the Italian cultural Marxist. Well, if you sit down and read him, he's difficult to follow in some cases and places, but in other places he's crystal clear. And he literally is about creating, and I'm going to, thank you, Joseph Stalin, I'm going to steal your phrase. He's literally about creating new Soviet man, through the process. And, think of Hitler and the Lebensborn program, the Aryan race, the perfected Aryan race, and so on, through all of their kooky genetic experiments. It's not new, and they're willing to sacrifice literally in the millions in order to achieve their goal. So it's not a new thing. What scares me, and people don't stop to think about this, but there's evidence of this genetic tinkering in the Bible, in the Mesopotamian texts, and so on. And at every point in the ancient texts that you see this getting carried away to such a state that it's breaking down the natural boundaries between species, there's some intervention that puts a stop to it. I mean, just think of the words in the New Testament. As in the days of Noah, well, that's what they were doing in Noah's day. So something's going on, and they're trying it again. And if you look at the transhumanists carefully, and this again is very, very clear in Gramsci, although it's clear in the sense that it comes out of reading between the lines. If you look at what they're saying, they're really saying that we, the elite, are going to reduce the rest of the human population to slavery and material for our experiments. That's what they're really saying. Even Charles Fort said this. Have you ever read Charles Fort?
Yes.
Well, there's that famous phrase, I think it's from the Book of the Damned, where he says, I think we're property. I think someone else owns us and is, just doing whatever he wants to do. That's the mentality that we get with these people. It's clear in the Soviet Union, it's clear in Nazi Germany, it's clear if you read Kurzweil carefully. Well, how are you going to do all this? At some point, in order for them to be able to achieve what they want to achieve, they have to experiment on humans. And how many humans are going to be volunteers to have a computer chip put in their head?
Not me.
Not me. Not very many. So, yeah. You have to go out and literally kidnap people and cart them away to your secret labs and do whatever it is that you're going to do with them. And, we've got many people stepping forward in the last 20 to 30 years that have said this is precisely what they're doing.